Hello, everybody. I'm going to talk about safety back to school, right? Like, for example, students that are going to school and children that are going to school. So, what are the safety measures and the drivers, the safety measures that they should take into considerations? Back to school safety. With the beginning of the new year, school year, in fast approaching, parents and children and motorists should take time to review some key rules and guidance to make the school year a safety and enjoyable experience. This simply means that whenever the year starts, the kids it will be very risky for kids because kids and the parents and motorcycle, because the city will become congested and most of the children will be vulnerable or exposed to danger. So those rules should be applied in terms of like the zebra crossings and the speed limits of a driver. So all those things should be taken into considerations. Now, first point, I'm going to talk about students on their way to school, the safety of students on their way to school. I'm going to highlight about 9 points, the safety of students to school, right? Point number 1, waiting for their bus in a safe place away from traffic or the streets. When a student waiting, they should wait for a bus in a safety place, right, where the bus stop is. Then point number 2, make sure that they walk to and from school or to the bus stop with others before they retrieve it, right, with others who they know, they trust. So this simply means that if you're allowing your child to go to school, they should walk accompanied with their fellow children who these children are trustworthy, So without trust, you have to be vigilant about those things. Then point number 3, tell the driver if they have dropped someone near the bus stop before they retrieve it. So these drivers, before they should make sure that they drop the students where the bus stop is, not halfway. Like you drop somebody where there is no bus stop. At least there should be a consistency where you pick a child and where you have to drop a child, right? Then point number 4, keep a safe distance from the bus until it comes to a complete stop. The driver say it is okay or approach or enter. So this simply means that when the bus stop, right, the bus need to stop completely, then the driver need to give instruction that okay, now we can come in. But if the driver didn't give instruction, the driver didn't forget to give instruction, it can endanger the children's life, because maybe the vehicle is not yet stopped. At the end of the day, you will try to climb or the door will get close to someone's hand, so it also leads to accidents, right? Then point number 5, exiting the bus, always maintain a safety distance from the bus, right? Then point number 6, pay attention to and obey all traffic signs and symbols. It is also exceptional importance to extra careful in a cloudy weather. So that simply means that in the zebra crossing, there should always be a light or a sign there. Now you should cross. So if the weather is very bad, the child needs to always need to be vigilant and watch for the sign before crossing the way, before crossing the zebra. Otherwise, if he cross, maybe a vehicle might come and eat. So this is what children need to take into consideration. The driver also need to take into consideration of these signs and the signs, right? Then point number 7 is be in a reliable or responsible carpool, right? If they are not taking the bus, right? If they are not taking a bus or a carpool, drivers should drop the youngest child or youngest child should drop them closer to their school. So for instance, if a child take a car, the car should make sure that it drop the child closer to his school or his house for safety, right? Then point number 8, and make sure that these children, they have entered their school place, before leaving, before the driver can leave. Then point number 9, be aware of the street traffic lights around. Then drivers are required to follow certain rules of the roads concerning school bus or pedestrian, and how they can do it, right? So like there's some kind of zebra crossing or a way wherein people can walk. So driver or bus driver should always look into consideration, try to observe, because sometimes kids are talking, speaking to each other, they forgot wherein they just cross the zebra crossing like that. But some countries, there are certain rules that every driver, if you reach a zebra crossing, you have to slow down your speed. Then I'm going to talk about children on their own way after school. For children. Before it was for students. Then now for children on their way to after school, right? I'm going to mention about 6 points. Point number 1, the child needs to be sure to know their own phone number, right? Their phone number. A child should know their phone number. Then also know how to call the police or 999 emergency. It depends on the country code. Then point number 3, the child should establish a rules for locking doors and windows and answering the door phone, right? So this simply means that there should be a rules of how you should knock your door to your house, how the father will knock the door. At least there should be a rules, so everybody will understand, like a code, Then point number 5 say, never talk to a stranger or accept ride or a gift from a stranger. So the child should never accept to get a gift from a stranger or to take a ride. You should always take the bus or the transportation that is bringing you home, because in certain issue, in certain situation, you never know. Some people are human trafficker. Some people using people for different things, right? So I'm going to point number 6 says, contact the parents or neighboring when they arrive home, right? When they arrive home. So you as the drivers or you as the bus driver, if a child come home, at least maybe you can inform the parents that we drop this child in this location at this time, Then I'm going to talk about the motorist, what they must do, right? The motorist, that is the drivers of any kind of motor, what they should do. Now they need to obey all traffic safety laws. They need to obey these laws, right? Then number 2, this motorist, they must be alert for any school children that are passing by or walking on the side of the sidewalk. That is Honda or bike. They should always be conscious of the traffic law and also by passerby or for children. Then point number 3, come to complete stop at the minimum distance required by the states for stopping a bus and allowing all children to cross the street. So this is a zebra crossing. If the zebra crossing is here, right, for like Hondas or any other motorcycle, so they have to wait when they approach the zebra crossing, so at least children will be able to have their own way out. So we are just trying to say this one. So motorcycle or every area, they should be vigilant of safety. Safety is the most important thing that I'm trying to explain about this topic, because if there is no safety, there will be a lot of incidents or accidents that will occur, right? Then also this motorist also, like the Hondas, the bike, tricycle, they should obey a specific mark or a speed limit. They should have their limits that they should run. So to conceptualize all these things, I'm just trying to talk about the safety of a student and a child when they are going to school and when they are coming back. The safety measures, how they should enter the car, where they should stop, and the records that the driver should always be trying to take for his own protection, children protection. Then the smaller kids, how they need help to take them directly to their school for their own safety, So I stop here.